Hello everyone and welcome back again. My name is Tom Nelson. This is a continuation of the diabetes control course. This is video lesson number 8, part number 4. We're going to learn about gluten. Scientists believe that this may be a key to unlocking the mysteries behind many chronic autoimmune diseases. Gluten may or may not be harmful to your body. But some individuals, gluten is identified by the body as an intruder. That means the antigens will not accept them as natural or normal. And so antibodies will be developed by the immune system and a war will ensue. It will cause inflammation. So the body's reaction to gluten or to lectins is distinct and very different, even though both cause the production of antibodies. So gluten and lectin allergies are entirely different, one from the other. A gluten allergy is the body's response, your immune system's response to that particular thing, gluten. So gluten, like a lectin, is a protein that's found in food, primarily in wheat. Wheat is the primary cause of gluten issues. There are other types of grains that have gluten, but wheat is the most difficult of them all. But gluten is a composite. It's found in anything that's processed from wheat and related grain species, pretty much anything in the grass family. That includes rye and barley. Gluten is a composite of gliadin and glutenin. So true gluten with gliadin and glutenin is actually limited to a number of members of the grass family of plants. However, exercise caution. Whenever you're buying gluten-free food items, you need to be aware that processors replace the wheat flour with cornstarch, rice starch, potato starch, or tapioca starch, all of which are extremely high on the glycemic index scale. The potato starch does not have a high glycemic index unless it is heated, and then it becomes extremely high. So if weight loss and blood sugar control is your goal, then these food items will spoil your party. They do not cause the same neurological and physical reactions, which are common to gluten, but they do cause the glucose-insulin response that will result in weight gain and spiked blood sugars. They are high glycemic index flours, so these substitutes can increase your blood sugars as much or possibly more than wheat. So you're better off starting from scratch with fresh ingredients that are low glycemic index, and there are many out there. Sorghum and spelt are two good examples. If it weren't for the higher cost, some of the nut flours are very excellent. Gliadin causes the intestinal lining to become permeable. That means it forms leaky gut. The intestines are designed to keep all kinds of bad things contained within the intestines. But when leaky gut occurs, they don't stay there. The cells of the intestinal lining, those epithelial cells, are designed to keep that barrier very tight as long as they're fed well with fiber and with a wide variety of vegetables. Gliadin causes the release of zonulin in the intestines, and that regulates the intestinal permeability. It causes a loosening of that tight grip between the epithelial cells, and that will cause leaky gut, just like a weakening of those cells because of inadequate diet. So unwanted toxic substances can include toxins like pathogens, bacteria, viruses, even fecal particles, and undigested food. All of that can now pass right through that intestinal lining, those epithelial cells, into the bloodstream and the intestinal cavity. From there, it'll be picked up by the bloodstream, and it'll be distributed to the tissues throughout your body and will cause massive amounts of inflammation. So the antibodies that are produced to attack the thyroid gland will cause joint issues as well. These antibodies that are produced for the gluten are going to attack your thyroid gland and your joints. It'll also cause asthma and a number of other conditions. Gliadins are capable of opening many cells that otherwise would not be able to be opened. So your body's reaction to gluten and different mechanisms of defense in each type of reaction to gluten will produce a unique set of symptoms that can be very similar, and they can be misleading. Each different reaction can vary in severity. However, the patterns will be distinct. Wheat reactions manifest primarily in the form of an abdominal discomfort and rarely is dangerous in nature. So however, though, if it's left untreated for a long period of time. It can lead to serious long-term complications. And gluten damages that fragile mucosa lining that lines your small intestine. That is the mucus layer that is normally produced by the epithelial cells and the goblet cells whenever they are healthy, and that is a protective barrier. So gluten will damage that mucus layer, which means you will lose some of your white cell in your immune function, and you will lose some of your beneficial bacteria as well. So the damage will lead to impaired absorption of nutrients, of vitamins, minerals, carbohydrates, fats, and water. Gluten is commonly associated with the formation of neurological symptoms and even mental health issues. So gluten can trigger an inflammatory autoimmune response all throughout your entire body and the body's nervous system. It mimics narcotic reactions in the brain, which results in brain perfusion, behavioral changes, mood swings, changes in blood flow, and a long list of others. So in part 3, you're going to be able to identify the specific foods that you should focus on and those that you should avoid. However, you will need to know your blood type in order to determine that. So now proceed to lesson number 8, part 5, the 4 blood types. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video. Please pay it forward and share what you learn with others. Thank you.